and welcome to your June 2018 Love Reading with Divine Love Tarot. I want to thank you guys for joining me, whether it's your first time or you're a return viewer or subscriber. Welcome, and I hope the message resonates. And if you're finding that the messages in this video are not resonating for you, I would suggest checking out your moon sign, your rising sign, and sometimes even your Venus sign, because those planets may be more prominent in your chart. And if you have questions about what any of that means, feel free to contact me, whether it's in the comments or email, and I can help you out with that. Okay, guys? So welcome. It's June, finally. Oh, this is my favorite time of year. It's also been a year since I've been doing these readings, and it's been a very interesting year on YouTube. But I'll just leave it at that for now. But if you've been with me for the last year, I hope that you're still enjoying my readings, and I would love a little bit of feedback. Yeah, I've heard that I keep it real. Some people say I keep it too real. I don't know what that means, but if you enjoy my readings, you know, be sure to let me know, okay? Let me know in the comments. I love when the comments section, you know, when you guys start chit-chatting with each other. I think that's really cool too, because, you know, people sometimes don't want to necessarily put their business out there, and you know, we all go through relationship issues, we all go through things in life, and so you know, to me, I don't feel uncomfortable discussing my relationships, whether they failed or whether they're great, because that, you know, it's just part of life. Anyway, I'm rambling, so let's go ahead and get into your reading. All right, guys, first card represents your current energy right now. And we get the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so the Knight of Wands can be you, Taurus. It can represent Aries mostly, but Taurus. Aries, another fire sign. It's on the cusp of Taurus though. And if this is not you, just being low energy and you know, feeling like things are a little bit predictable in your life or in your relationship, you know, you could be feeling like things used to be a lot more fun. You could be feeling like you're in a rut, okay? If you're in a relationship, you may feel like things are just not exciting as they once were. You guys may be having, you know, little petty arguments, nothing too big, nothing too serious. If the Knight of Wands in reverse is another person, then you might want to be careful, because they may be a bit of a player, okay? The Knight of Wands is very focused on sex, not very focused on sticking around afterwards, okay? So if that's what you want, and you know, you're just looking for a fling, then no problem. But if you're looking for something more than that, then just keep one eye open on this person, okay? Let's go ahead and clarify that position. And we get the Hanged Man in the reverse. Okay, so the Hanged Man in the reverse represents feeling like you've sacrificed too much, or if that's not the case, you're tired of nothing happening, okay? You know it's time to do something at this point. You've been kind of just hanging around too long. So if you've been in a relationship with someone who is represented by the Knight of Wands in the reverse, then for those of you, you feel like nothing's going on, and now maybe you know why. If you're realizing that this person's not really serious about this relationship, then you know, you might understand, okay, this is why, you know, nothing's really going on. They're not really looking for a commitment. If that's not the case, then you're just tired of things being stagnant. Okay, you feel like it's time to make a move, whether it's time to move the relationship to the next level, or whether it's time for you guys to change up the routine a bit if you're in a long-term relationship, or whether it's time to move on from a relationship. That's kind of where you're at right now, Taurus. Okay, so if you're single, you're kind of tired of being single, and you're kind of like, you know it's time to make a move, but you don't necessarily have the energy to do so. But you know it's time to do something, and you're tired, okay? Now, what is your challenge? Your challenge is the Ace of Swords. Well, why is the Ace of Swords your challenge, or why is this crossing you? I think for you guys, it's a challenge to take things in a new direction. That is your challenge, okay? To be honest and clear with yourself, and if you're in a relationship with your partner, about what it is that you actually really want, okay? Or about the fact that you're just not happy with your situation. You know, if you've been single for a long time and, you know, you've been, oh, I'm okay being single, well, it's almost like, be honest with yourself. Are you really okay being single? I don't think so, okay? Sometimes we are okay being single, but sometimes we're single and we tell ourselves that we're okay with it, but if you really want to be in a relationship, then you're not necessarily, you may not be miserable single, but you're not getting what you want, so you can't be all the way satisfied with that either, okay? So your challenge is to be honest with yourself, and if you're in a relationship that's stuck in a rut and nothing's going on, it's not there's no growth or development, then you need to be honest with your partner about that as well. All right, let's go ahead and clarify that position. We get the Eight of Swords in the reverse, okay? So this is no longer being blind to what the reality of the situation is. So that is your challenge, is to see things for what they are, the truth, okay? Both of these cards represents basically the same thing. It represents the truth. One is just a more direct approach. One is after a long time of not seeing the truth, okay? Moving on to what you're coming out of in the past, we've got the Eight of Wands in the reverse. So that represents a few things. That represents possibly a relationship that you rushed into too fast and it ended just as quickly. All right, that's what the Eight of Wands can represent. It can also represent jealousy, okay? Or acting too hastily. But for others, it's quite the opposite. It's moving too fast, okay? It's not wanting to wait. It's rushing into something, helter-skelter, all right? Let's go ahead and clarify that position. Oh, we get the Judgment in reverse, which is another card about jumping to conclusions, doing things hastily, doubting, your choices, doubting the decision that you made, or, second guessing yourself. So maybe there was a situation in the past where you either got into that situation too quickly or you got out of that and you're regretting that you broke up with this particular person, okay? So, or that you ended that particular situation. All right. Now moving on to your future energy, and it's the Judgment in reverse again. So clearly some of you feel like there is a decision that you made, whether you rushed into this particular situation, if you're in a relationship too quickly, or whether you ended a relationship too quickly, which has caused your long-term single status. And you're realizing that maybe you may have been too hasty in the past. I think that is still sticking with you, okay? The Judgment in reverse. Or in the future, maybe there's a new relationship lurking around the corner. Especially, as I do the reading, sometimes things come together a little bit more, okay? Say you've met this Knight of Wands person, okay? This Knight of Wands in the reverse person. You've met them now. Your challenge is to be honest and to see things for what they are, okay? Hanged Man in the reverse. You're tired of the situation that you're in, all right? So you may be inclined to maybe rush into something with this new person because you've been maybe single. This is just for my singles. You've been single for a while, okay? So maybe you don't want to do that, all right? So Judgment in reverse is it's not just about reading the cards. These are messages also. So that's the message that, take your time when making decisions, okay? Because you don't want to make poor decisions based off of the fact that you're not happy with what your situation is now. For my relationships, I feel like right now, because things are in a rut, okay, and because things are kind of stagnant, you may not want to rush into making a decision. Don't do anything because you may regret or you may question that decision in the future, okay? Let's go ahead and clarify Judgment. And we get the Queen of Wands in the reverse, okay? So this can be a Pisces, Aries. This is Pisces, Aries cusp, or a fire sign if it's a person. If not, then this is a situation where, someone's being manipulative, pushy, bully, demanding, all right? The Queen of Wands in the reverse is just mean. She's not a very nice. In the upright, she's a very nice person. She's cheerful. She's enthusiastic. She's passionate. In the reverse, she can tend to be very mean and nasty. So if that is your energy, then that may be based off this rushed, decision, or this decision that you're questioning, or that may be the energy of the person that you're dealing with. Okay, that Knight of that Knight of Wands may morph into the Queen of Wands in reverse. Who knows? If it is not that case, that may be you. Or it could be a situation where your confidence is low. Okay, because that's also another indicator with the Queen of Wands, because she's so cheerful and peppy in her upright state that in the reverse she may have lost some of her confidence. Okay, and that may be the residual, you know, all those nasty emotions and nasty behavior is a residual of the fact that she's not feeling good about herself. So if that is your energy, Taurus, then be careful about whatever decisions you make now, because you do not want to literally regret them in the future. Okay, and if you've met someone and you're questioning them now, just keep one eye on them. You know, there's no need to rush into anything. If they're really into you and they really want to be with you, they're not going anywhere. So if you've got someone who's trying to make you rush to something, that's because they don't plan to stick around too long. Okay, so don't let anybody push you into a situation that is just going to wind up disappointing you in the long run. And like I said, if you are in a long-term situation already and, you know, things are not necessarily, you know, nothing's moving, well, you know, maybe find out how to get them moving before you just decide that you don't want it anymore. But let's go ahead and see what the rest of this reading has to offer, right? And the reason I say that is because the next card is what you want, okay? The World in reverse. So, with the World in reverse, I'm going to just go ahead and pull another clarifier, because why do you want the World in reverse? We've got the Five of Cups. So, the World in reverse can indicate that you would like to end your relationship, okay? But the World in reverse, the World card can represent someone who is a Capricorn, or it's on the Aquarius Capricorn cusp. So, if you have someone from the past that is, you know, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm stuttering. With this combination, with the Five of Cups, okay, what does it mean to want the Five of Cups? Okay, I think in this aspect, it's the term, it's the part of the Five of Cups that represents reconciliation. Okay, so for some of you, you may want to reconcile with someone who is an Aquarius, or you may want to reconcile with someone who's a Capricorn. Okay, or you want to reconcile with someone from your past, all right? The World in reverse is, it's another representation of stagnation for me. So that's why I feel like it's more related to a person. Okay, that's why I keep saying it. So either you, I mean, for some of you, you could just want to end a relationship and you know that's going to lead to the Five of Cups and you're okay with that. But I don't necessarily see anybody wanting heartbreak. Okay, unless you want to break somebody's heart, then damn, Taurus, that's kind of rough. But I feel like this is more wanting to reconcile with someone who used to mean the world to you, okay? Whether they're an Aquarius or a Capricorn, I don't really think that matters. I think this is you wanting someone. I don't think this is particularly someone that's in your life at this particular moment, okay? And like I said, this is the what you want section. So this could be anything. This could be someone from 5 years ago, 10 years ago. If that's how you feel inside, that's just how you feel. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to act on it, okay? Now, moving on to your internal factors. What's driving you? We've got the Hermit in reverse, okay? So it could be loneliness that's driving you right now. It could be the fact that you feel like you've been, you know, single for a long time. You've been isolated for a very long time. What was I going to say? I know what, I'm going back to this last position because it's really kind of like World in reverse and the Five of Cups. And then we've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So definitely feel like it's almost like you don't want things to change. Okay, you want to reconcile how things used to be. All right, you do want things to change, but you want them to change back to how they used to be. All right. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. I have to continue your reading at a later time. So now we're back, picking up with this Hermit in reverse, picking up with whether or not you've been in isolation for a long time, or you are lonely and tired of being single, or if you feel like you need some time out from the current relationship that you're in, okay? And it's not impossible to feel lonely within a relationship, especially if things have been stagnant, if you guys are not connecting, if it's been a period of low energy, if there's nothing going on between you guys, a lot of people can be in relationships and still feel alone, okay, because there's no connection or you guys are not connecting. All right, so let's go ahead and clarify this Hermit in reverse. And we get the Page of Pentacles, okay, which is about focus. And, when you see pentacles in relationships, it usually talks about stability, insecurity, dependability, but also, it has a tendency to talk about routine, okay? When you get to a certain part of a relationship, when you're secure in a relationship, 9 times out of 10, routine may set in, okay? So with the Page of Pentacles, I feel like this is about either you focusing on certain aspects of the relationship now, okay? You guys have gotten into the steady part of the relationship, but now you're at a part where you're actually looking at the details. You're looking at something with more focus than maybe you had before, okay? Page of Pentacles, if you're single, you could want somebody who is dependable, right? You want somebody that you can rely on. Doesn't necessarily have to be, fairy tale type of relationship. At this point, you just feel like you just want somebody that you can trust, someone that you can count on, okay? Go ahead now. Let's move on to the advice card for this reading. And we've got the Lovers. So what is that saying to us? Well, the Lovers is about a choice, okay? Because it is a choice. It could be a choice between two lovers. So for some of you, you're going to have to choose between, two people, whether it's this person that you're longing for from before and the person that you're with, or if you've met a new person and there's an old person, whatever the case may be. For some of my Tauruses, you will have to make a choice. But for most, when you see the Lovers card, it's a choice about what you really desire, okay, at the core of your heart, and what you feel like you should have, okay? And I think sometimes there's a war within us between being materialistic, getting our material needs met, right? Being in a relationship that not only is dependable as far as you being able to rely on that person, but also you want a dependable base, okay? You want to live in a nice home. You don't want to have to worry about money. You want a relationship where both people, or at least one person's bringing in a lot of money, or enough money where you guys can live comfortably, or however, whatever that means to you, without having to worry about it. And a lot of people will sacrifice true love and true happiness for a more reliable, consistent, stable situation, okay? So I feel like for some of my Tauruses, that's where you're at, okay? Because we know, Taurus, you are a sign of materialistic comforts, okay? You are a sign of creature comforts. You love your food, you love your drink, you love your shopping, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. But are you at a place where you feel like your emotional needs have not been met? Okay, so maybe your financial needs have been met, but if the core of you, if what you really want and desire has not been met, then now you're at that place where you have to decide, am I okay with having the materialistic needs and, the more worldly needs that I have satisfied, or am I going to go for a situation that's more satisfying to my heart? All right, and I don't think that's a question that only Tauruses are asking themselves. I think a lot of people are asking themselves that question now, because we've been taught and raised that, you're supposed to do this, okay? There's these milestones that we're taught we're supposed to hit. You got to go to college, okay? Get a degree, get a bachelor's degree. Then if you want, or you can, get your master's. You'll make this much money. You want to be with a man who can take care of you. Everybody wants to drive this car. While you get to a certain age, you should be driving this type of car. You should be living in this type of house. It's like, especially now with Instagram and everybody, like, when did Dubai become the vacation spot? Okay, when I was when I was going to college, I would have never thought about going on a vacation to Dubai. Now I go on Instagram and everybody's going to Dubai, and I'm just like, when did this become a thing? But if you go on social media, you see all this sensationalism, okay? Everything is about how much money you spend, okay? People are spending thousands of dollars on baby reveals, okay? We don't even have baby showers anymore. We have gender reveals, okay? Is it going to be a boy or a girl? Let's throw a big elaborate party and have purple, I mean, you know, pink or blue helicopters fly around to let people know that we're having a boy or a girl. And it's just like, all right, that's great, okay? And that's amazing. And if you can be in a relationship with someone and they can say, hey, babe, let's go on vacation, let's do this, that's exciting, that's wonderful, great. But at the end of the day, if the intimacy is missing in that situation, right? If the true feeling of the lovers is missing from that equation, are you really happy and satisfied? And that's the question. That's the advice for this reading is to make a decision, to decide, okay? Because there's no point of having one and always longing for the other. Okay, either you're going to have to decide that you're going to be happy with whatever you choose, right? Because it is your choice. And once you make a choice, you shouldn't regret it. And just seeing the fact that we've got this Five of Cups here, which, yeah, it is the card of reconciliation, but it's also about regrets. You should never make a decision that you know you're going to regret. Okay, so if you are okay, right, knowing that, you know, you may not be having the intimacy that you would like in your life, but materialistically, you know, stability-wise, security-wise, all your bases are covered, then that's what it is. But if at any point you realize that that's not enough, then what are you going to do about it? All right, and I think I went too long into that section, but sometimes that happens. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to your external factor. What's going on in your external environment? And we've got the Four of Wands in the reverse. So I feel like for some of my Tauruses, you may be either in a relationship with or met someone who your family may not necessarily like. Your family or your friends may not think they're the best match. If that's not the case, this person may not be ready for commitment, okay? And if that's not the case, this is a lack of harmony. So there may be something that poses a threat to your harmony if you are in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, I just feel like there's either no one in your external environment that, you know, is going to bring you commitment at this time, okay? Let's go ahead and clarify that position. And we get the Queen of Swords in the reverse. So, with this, it could be an air sign that you're dealing with. And, you know, this may not be the nicest person. With the Four of Swords and the air sign, I feel like this is really like no commitment. Friends, maybe even the friend zone. Heavy, heavy friend zone, okay? So, this just be a situation where if you're not already in a relationship, there's not really anyone that is going to give you the kind of commitment that you may be looking for in your environment at this time, okay? For those of you that are in a relationship, I feel like maybe, you know, your partner is not happy at this time. They're not happy with the relationship, or they're not happy about something, okay? Maybe they are, you know, for some of you, you may even be in a relationship with someone who may be having some type of outside relationship with someone else, okay? And that's what's threatening the harmony of your situation. Whoever this Queen of Swords may be, she may be the person who, you know, and if she's in reverse, she's definitely not a nice person. For some of my Tauruses, there may be someone who definitely is not nice, who is mean and, you know, vindictive. She could have a cruel tongue, and she may be, you know, the factor that's taken away from your happiness. All right. And if that's not the case, if there is no outside person, then this is just the person that you're with who is definitely going through some things right now. Okay. Definitely not, please. Let's go ahead and move on to your hopes and your fears. And we get the Hanged Man, okay? I'm going to pull the clarifier for that right off the bat to see. We got the Three of Wands in reverse. So with this combination, I feel like this is you afraid of either being with someone who doesn't know what they want, or afraid that you will be, in a situation where, okay, the Hangman is about being in a crossroads or about sacrifice. Okay, Three of Wands is about getting fed up of waiting, tired of waiting. So if you're in a relationship, I feel like you're afraid that you're eventually going to get tired of making the sacrifices that you've been making. Okay, you're going to get tired. You're afraid that you're not going to be able to continue this. Okay, you know that you're doing a lot, or you know that you're overlooking a lot, or that you're ignoring a lot, or that you're shouldering a lot right now, and you're concerned that you're not going to be able to continue that in the future, okay? Or that you're going to have to continue more of that. You don't want to continue to do this, all right? Whatever it is that you feel like you've sacrificed, or whatever it is that you feel like, whether you feel like you're sacrificing intimacy and a connection for, materialistic reasons, whatever that may be, okay, you do not want to continue to do that, and that's your fear. All right, for my singles, I think you fear that you're going to be at this place where you can't decide what you want. Okay, you can't decide what kind of relationship you want, and therefore you're stuck. And I think you're afraid that you're just waiting around for someone to come or something to happen. That's never going to happen, because you have to make a decision first. Okay, you have to decide who and what you want first before they can come. If you don't know what you want, yeah, things will come, people will come, but it may not necessarily be what you want. So you got to get clear with yourself about what it is that you actually want. You have to make that decision, right? What do you want? All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the outcome, and we've got the Sun in reverse, okay? So this could be just something as just minor arguments. If you're in a relationship, it's just more, small issues, nothing big, nothing huge. But the Sun in reverse can represent a lack of confidence, okay? It can also indicate someone who's being blind to the truth, or just not seeing things. You're just not seeing things clearly. When the sun is upright, it sheds a light on everything. So when it's in the reverse, it's almost like you really can't see the forest for the trees, right? For some of you, this can indicate that there may be a Leo that is in your, that's either coming towards you or in your life already, okay? Let's go ahead and clarify that. We got the Nine of Wands in the reverse. So the Nine of Wands in reverse is like feeling let down, feeling paranoid about situations. It's like you're finding issues where there are no issues. All right. So if you have low confidence, if you feel like you're not feeling the best, if you've been lonely, sometimes you can get down on yourself. And if you're single, it's almost like, you not feeling like you can be in a relationship, like nobody wants me, okay? Your confidence is low. You're feeling paranoid. It's almost like, one of those people like, oh, why are you single, right? What have you done? There has to be a reason why you're single. And it's almost like you're thinking that now, right? What have I done? Why am I still single? Why does anyone not want me? If you're in a relationship, it's the same. Your confidence is still low, but it may be because of whatever else is going on that you've been ignoring, that you don't want to, acknowledge, or that you refuse to see in your situation. And you can be feeling let down. And sometimes we let ourselves down, okay? Because whether or not we address issues, if we know those issues are there and we don't do anything about them, it's still going to affect you. Just because you don't call things to the carpet, or you don't bring things to the table to discuss, doesn't mean they're not going to affect you. So I just feel like whatever is happening right now in your situation, for my relationship, couples, it's affecting you, okay? It's messing with your confidence and your self-esteem, and, you're really, really at a crossroads. You're really at a breaking point, With the Nine of Wands, it's like you've got a little bit of fight left in you, but not much. Not much. Okay, guys? So that is the reading, Taurus. After this, I'm going to pull some more clarifiers with this third deck, like I did for the What You Want portion of the reading. And if you're interested in that, you can go ahead and check the eye icon for your extended reading. If you'd like a personalized reading, you can go ahead and contact me. My information will be below this video in the description bar, or you can just email me at divinelovetarot@gmail.com. Otherwise, guys, this is the reading. I will see you guys at the next one. All right, Taurus? Bye.